What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on UFSU University. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by
Tyler.
What Study Hall is for the unenrolled is we take a bunch of your guys' UFS topics as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. Before we jump into topic 4, which is brought to us by one of you, the good people, I want to talk about our sponsor today, which is TCG Player / TCG University. We have gotten a TCG player, and we are now selling cards in order to help support the channel. So if you want to support the channel and support us, try and make this a little more permanent, more like a real job for us, that would be very cool. It's a way that you can help the channel without subscribing on Patreon or anything. So with that, I want to jump into topic 4, which is, have ratios changed? Chris Smith asked on Facebook, James did a quick blurb of the community questions, and he said, does Soul Calibur 6 and its assets, does Soul Calibur 6 assist the 20-plus attack trend or exacerbate it? Chris Smith. Are you still going to play 20 attacks when Soul Calibur 6 comes out?
Absolutely, I am.
So I actually have been playing less. I think I played 19, except for in Fae, which needed 4 of 5 different attacks in order to play the game. But I think in Jet I played like 17 attacks, or Jetta. Sorry, I keep saying Jet. In Jetta I played 17 attacks, and in what am I playing right now? Jackie, I'm playing 19. He's a 19 or 20. And I think it really depends on what it is that your deck wants to do. I think it depends on how aggressive you plan on being.
Sure. I think we talked about it a while ago. I remember talking about it with Jake and you, I think. Barrett might have also been there. And they were all talking about, like, no, you don't play 20 attacks. You're just going to check. And I think that sort of the trend I've seen around here is that you curve those numbers down a little bit.
When would you curve them up?
So, like, a hyper-aggressive decks.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, the Kin 2s can get away with, like, a 24 attack deck. It really just depends on if you don't mind checking bad.
Yeah. Or if you have some way of not checking bad. Like this Yoshimitsu deck, I would be slightly tempted to do it because I play a lot of assets. And therefore, I get this Bishamon Foundation that counts as 2 foundations. Yeah. I also play under all, so I can have that Turbo Man card that counts as 2 foundations for attacks. Yeah. And I want to see 1,000,000 attacks and just go off. Yep. I also get once a turn plus 2 in my checks. If I check an attack, well, that's fine.
You checked a foundation.
I checked a foundation.
Or if you checked a foundation, you checked a super foundation.
Right. So, like, that's sort of a type of deck where if I played more than 20 attacks, I think I could be okay.
I think the thing is like, is it okay to survive an extra turn? I think that is the question that is being asked here is, are the decks going to be so hyper aggressive that you're allowed to just whiff on a kill turn? Like, is that okay? And versus decks like Akuma, that's a hard thing to say. Versus a deck like Goro, that's a very hard thing to say of, like, can I survive a kill turn? Which is where, like, me playing less attacks is an issue. I think when you're fighting decks like that, depending on, like, the meta, when we look at the breakdown, we had a bunch of evil decks which say if you check bad, you lose. Right. 5 evil decks topped in the past 3 events, and they say if you check bad, you lose. If you check a 3, you checked a 1. Well, that means you discarded a card, and the cost for them to do that is minuscule. It's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. And so the less 3s that you run, the less that their abilities work, the more blank their card is. Right. And so if you play more attacks, if you play more aggressive, then you're just falling into their evil trap. Right. Their evil plan. Right. And so, like, the fire decks, like Goro has a really hard time versus an evil deck unless he can just get a solid build turn. Like, I build 4 and I'll pass. And one of the cards that I dipped was a missile launcher. Well, I'm for sure going to play the missile launcher, and I don't care what you hack it. It's still flying at you. Same thing with, like, Witzel. Like, I drew a missile launcher. I have to play this attack. Like, it's a thing I have to do. And so, like, I think that the ratios are probably going to go down. Yeah. I don't think that they're going to go up.
I don't either.
And I think that it is just going to be a slightly more defensive game, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with and I'm going to use these 3 all fire evil, hyper aggressive, I cut myself to desperation, I'll kill you type decks. Things like Akuma, Kotal Khan, Vega, under the evil symbol, just trying to kill you. I'm super down for that. I'm also down for these order or chaos or good decks being like, well, hold on, let's slow our roll and let's chill out. I want to play into Deadlock. My name's Elena, and I'm trying to kill you when I've got 45 foundations.
Right.
I think Soul Calibur, from my very overlooking view, is I don't think that the hyper aggressive decks got very much.
I don't either. I think they got a lot more defensive pieces.
I think there are a bunch more defensive pieces. You look at like Maxi's Foundation. That card is incredible. That card is super good, and it's both good aggressively and defensively. But Daniel Tyler taught me a long time ago that living is more important than killing them, and I disagree with that sentiment in a black and white sense.
Sure.
But it is very much grayscaled, and it's starting to feel a little more split grayscale. I should not be trying to kill you on turn 2 if that's not what my deck does. Sometimes you draw that and you just got to play with the hand you're dealt. But if you're trying to kill somebody on turn 2, quit building.
Yeah.
I think it is 100% based on what symbol are you playing. What tools do you have? I don't think Soul Calibur gave anybody these hyper aggressive tools, and I don't think Soul Calibur gave anybody these unstoppable wall defenses. I think maybe the only hyper aggressive tool that I could possibly see would be like something like Killick Dirty Bow type combos where I'm just like picking up an attack and ignoring progressive and like playing more cards. Like I think Jeremy Ray's gonna kill people on 2 with that. I think Chris Nixon's gonna kill people on 2 with that deck.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like an extreme example, right? Like that is the definition of hyper aggressive.
But at the same time, we look at the opposite of that, and we look at Raiden, and he plays with those same 6 foundations, and that is a more defensive deck, or it can be because of how it works. Like I think Killick is can totally be a defensive deck. Hold on,
sure.
I'm gonna look up Killick just real fast and make sure that I'm not remembering what he does. I'm fairly positive that he says your next check. He doesn't say your next difficulty. What did I click? I clicked 4 difficulty characters and I found Gemini Man. Red. Okay, so he says difficulty, and so you don't even get to block with him. Man, I lied. Killick's just gonna kill people.
Yeah, it's I have to.
Killick's just gonna kill people.
If I have 3 foundations, then you're dead, which means I built turn 1, and now I'm just gonna kill you.
Or he's got cards that will destroy his foundations for effects, like I don't know, Vicinity Blast.
Or I know a bunch of his cards destroy.
Yeah.
Like I've now built 6, but like it's actually 3 after I fiddle with the numbers.
Yeah. But looking through, I think Siegfried's a really defensive character. I think Taki can be a really aggressive character. Sophidia's a defensive character.
I think Sophidia's like the opposite of Killick, and she's hyper defensive.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think her entire thing is I'm gonna have less damage than normal, but also if anything gets blocked, then you're committing foundation. So I'm just gonna block everything.
Well, the thing is like Sophidia says this attack is +2 or -2 speed, and if it deals less than its printed damage, commit to your opponent's foundations. So she just wants to half block a bunch of stuff.
She wants to half block a bunch of stuff, or like all of her things say my attack is -1 damage.
I think James Stevens should play the shit out of Sophidia.
Yeah,
I think that's the deck
I think
that
you should play Ivy more, because I think Ivy might actually be the man. I think it's tough. Ivy might actually, now that
both have the life symbol, and I think it's gonna make a comeback. But we're not talking about that. Yeah. Final thoughts is I think that Soul Calibur is gonna make attacks less, because I think foundations are actually gonna be doing more.
I agree. I think they've given us a lot of cool foundations to play around with.
Yeah. Like I can't think of like. And once again, I've done very little Soul Calibur research. After the Atlanta PTC, I can probably reevaluate this topic just a smidge. But like Guilty Throne is like the main attack that I'm thinking of when I think of Soul Calibur and how nutty that card is. It just says draw 3.
Yeah.
And I can pick the two of the 3 cards I draw. And I think that card's gonna make venomous be played again, or for the first time.
Right, because I don't know why people weren't playing a whole bunch.
That's okay.
I wasn't either, so
You weren't. But with that, is there anything else you can think about for this topic?
No. I think that we're gonna see playing less than 20 attacks is it could be a more viable option now. I think that's sort of the direction people are going. And I think it's gonna continue that way maybe. Unless they decide, well, we want attacks to do a lot more again. And then the next set is just gonna be really hyper aggressive again.
I agree. So with that, thank you very much for watching this episode. If you like the content, go to patreon.com/TCG or UFS University. We changed the URL, UFS University, and subscribe at one of the tier levels. We also have the TCG player. So thank you so much for your support, and stay learned.
Get learned.
See you guys.